Hello there guys, it's been a while since we had a nice pretty outdoorsy video, but being that autumn is finally here, I thought this was the perfect opportunity to sit out here in the nice breeze since it's not sweltering anymore and do a fun little Ungoth Confessions type video. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe I did a video similar to this with some Ungoth Confessions way back when I first started my channel that is lost somewhere in the depths of it, that had a few more confessions than this video will have. I kind of had to stick to my top 3 for this one, but I'm going to be going in a little more detail about them than I did the first time I did a video like this. So I hope you end up enjoying it. I'm going to enjoy making it. And yeah, I think that when it comes to any kind of subculture, especially alternative subcultures, we all get so worried about whether or not people think we're goth enough or emo enough or cyberpunk enough or whatever it is that we identify as, that we almost kind of shove ourselves into these little boxes. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, you're part of a subculture and that's great, but at the end of the day, you're still a human being. You're going to be different from other people in and outside your subculture, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So hopefully after hearing some of my confessions, you feel a little bit more like you can be your full self too. So my first super ungoth confession might not sound like much of one to some of you guys, but it definitely is when you look at the subculture as a whole, especially online on Instagram and YouTube and stuff. And it is that I do not go to clubs and I do not go to music festivals. In fact, I've never even been to a concert in my entire life. The only time I listen to goth music is on Deezer. My partner has Spotify, but I noticed that when I tried to use Spotify, I couldn't find most of the bands that I like. A lot of the older goth music from the actual 80s and stuff, the stuff that's generally considered to be goth music. And the reason that I only listen to it when, I'm at home or on the road or something isn't because I don't enjoy clubs and I don't enjoy concerts or music festivals. In fact, I have a dream that I would love to go to Mara Luna one day. It's the fact that for those of you who are new here or don't really know me, I have chronic pain. I am disabled in a mobility scooter, and I basically have a shot immune system and I'm sick a lot. I have a chronic health condition too. I have a lot of stuff kind of going against me health-wise that makes it very difficult for me to partake in things like concerts and music festivals. Music festivals would be a little bit easier for me than a concert because most concerts that I would want to see are not necessarily open air, and it would be really hard if I suddenly started getting a pain flare or something and I needed to step out for me to get out of an auditorium full of excited people than it would for me to say, okay, we're in an outdoor venue, there's a lot of space, I need to just go over by the vendor stands or something and take a break. It would be a lot easier for me to do that versus trying to get out of an auditorium. So maybe one day I'll be able to do a music festival. That would be nice. Mara Luna's my number one. Obviously everyone wants to do Wave Gothic Treffin and stuff. It's just, those oldies and goodies that just about every goth you see online tends to go to. It's just not in the cards for me right now. On top of the fact that my pain and my illness get in my way, it's also very expensive. Not only the ticket into, a concert or an outdoor festival, but also the fact that you need to transport yourself there someplace. You need to find a place to stay. There's a lot of variables that go into it. And again, for those of you who are not aware of this, disabled people don't have a lot of money. I am planning on going to Disney World in 2022, and I have been having to plan that trip alone since last year. That is how long it usually takes me to try to plan one single adventure outside of my house. So that is why I just listen to music at home. The next Ungoth confession I have is that when I'm not on camera, and I know I'm not going to be on camera or seen by the general public, I probably look like one of the most ungoth people you've ever seen. My hair obviously stays the same. I always do my makeup like this every day. It's just something that makes me feel good about myself. When I don't wear makeup, I tend to appear sick, which is something I really don't want for me. I don't want people to just take one look to me and be like, I don't want people to just take one look at me and be like, oh, poor sick baby. That stuff just, it makes me crazy. I don't want to be your cripple porn or anything. So I like to do it. It's also just, you know, I'm an artist. This is artistic. It is an expression of how I feel on the inside, but put on the outside. So even if I'm not going to be leaving my house for weeks and weeks and I'm not going to see anybody but my partner, I still always do my makeup like this. So the head looks goth, but the body, like today, I have my paw print robe, which was from Animal Rescue Store, and the nice thing about them is that when you buy from them, the money goes towards like feeding shelter animals and stuff. And then I have freaking Eeyore pajama bottoms on right now. Like, it's not exactly the most gothic outfit you're ever going to see in your life, but if I'm not gonna be going out someplace and I'm not gonna be seen by anyone but, you know, the person I'm gonna live with the rest of my life, why should I care? Even when I'm on my channel sometimes, if I'm cozy right now, like I am, why should I worry about whether or not someone wants to decide if I'm goth or not based on what I decide to wear, like my outfit choice for the day? That's just silly. Like, if you're tired and you just want to stay in your pajamas and they're not black pajamas, that's fine. If your grandma gave you a pink fuzzy robe with bunny ears on it, go ahead and wear that proudly because your grandma gave it to you. Stop worrying so much about whether or not people in the subculture think you're goth enough or not. Those people you're never going to change the minds of. There's people like that in the world, in every subculture, in every, you know, corner of the earth. There are people who are just never going to think you're good enough, and that's not on you, that's on them. The third is that I get into moods where I just want to listen to a single band, sometimes for like weeks or even months on end. Like, I do the same thing with video games. Someone will buy me 4 video games or 4 CDs or something, and I'll look at all of them and I'm like, oh, these are really cool. Like, I'd love to, you know, play these or, you know, listen to these if it's a CD or something. But then I like play one of the games or I listen to one of the CDs and I just have this one track mind where I'm like, even if I finished it already, I just want to listen to that. That's all I care about at the time. That's all I want to do. It's all I want to spend my time with. And it's just kind of funny because people don't get, they're like, but like, there's this band and stuff, and I'm like, I know, and I love those bands. Like, I love Susie, I love Bauhaus, I love all of them, you know. I have a lot of Cure songs I like and stuff, but I'll have these moods where like for 3 months all I want to listen to is Sisters of Mercy and that's it. And sometimes I even end up wanting to listen to a band that's not goth. I've had moments where obviously I still love goth music, and if push came to shove and I was told you can only listen to one form of music for the rest of your life, it's always gonna be goth music. I'm always going to choose one of the goth bands that I love over anything else if it came down to that. But I have moods where for a good few weeks I just want to listen to Nightwish or something, or I just want to listen to Marilyn Manson, which I know is gonna make a bunch of goth people quake that I like Marilyn Manson. I know he's not goth music, I know he's industrial rock, doesn't mean I can't enjoy him. I think he's an intelligent human being, I think his lyrics are amazing, and his music is just weird as hell. And sometimes I'm in a mood where I just want to listen to something that's weird as hell, and I don't see anything wrong with that. So understand, like, yeah, it's nice if the majority of what you listen to is goth music, because obviously to be goth you kind of gotta love the music. But at the end of the day, if you're in like a weird mood where you're like, I just want to listen to Britney Spears because of all the Free Britney stuff, don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Still enjoy that same music that you grew up with and that you've always loved. No one gets to dictate what you do or don't listen to. So those were my only 3 confessions I had for this one, but I just wanted to go in a little more detail on them, and I hope this was a kind of lighthearted, fun video for you guys and that you enjoyed it. I've got like at least 3 or 4 more videos lined up that I can't wait to film, and as always, do something that makes you happy today, no matter what anyone else thinks about it, and I'll see everyone again soon.